Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the PrintoCent webinar series. Today, we have a session number 7, and it's about the success stories of EU-Smartees program. My name is Jukka Jaatinen. I come from VTT. VTT is a technical research center of Finland, and we are a partner in Smartees program. And I'm also a host for you today. Today's webinar will be recorded and will be available later on in PrintoCent website and also in YouTube. As all the previous seminars, webinars we have held, we started our webinar series in mid-January with printed intelligence fast forward session, and after that we have had 5 webinars more, and now we will have the ending webinar of this webinar series. And as shown in the screen, you can find all the previous webinars recorded, available on YouTube. Few words about the PrintoCent before going today's topic. PrintoCent is an industry cluster founded 11 years ago by Technical Research Center of Finland, local universities from Oulu region and the city of Oulu. We have at the moment 40 industry members, from startups to multi-billion-dollar companies, multinational companies. What we are doing? We are boosting the printed intelligence, the industrialization of printed and wearable electronics. We are organizing different kind of happenings, webinars, seminars, and of course we are commercializing the research results of printed electronics research programs to the business, together with our member companies. For your information, our next PrintoCent 22 seminar, face-to-face, we all hope, I'm sure, will be held during the week 4, 2022, here in Oulu, Finland. You can find very soon more information about the 7th PrintoCent seminar from our webpage. Then, to today's program. It's about the success stories from EU-Smartees program. So the EU-Smartees project has been running since 2017, promoting and stimulating the progress for flexible and wearable electronics applications. We started with the Smartees 1 project, and it has offered vouchers and tech and non-tech support to 20 application experiments covering field applications. And today's seminar, we are presenting 7 stories out of that program. At the moment, the Smartees 2 program is going on, and if you have an idea and need technologies, expertise, and or resources, you can contact us in our webpage, and you can find more information about the coming application experiments from there. During our webinar, we have 9 speakers, and in the end of our webinar, we have Q&A session. If you have something to ask from the webinar speakers, you can type your question to the webinar link, and we will answer those during the webinar or after the webinar in the Q&A session. Our first speaker comes from TNO, Mr. Corne Rentrop. He will tell us about the EU-Smartees stimulating new business creation with its application experiment programs. After his speech, there will be 7 success stories by the Smartees program. So please, Korn, floor is yours.
Yes, let me try and share my screen first. So, I think it works. Good morning, everybody. My name is Conor. I work at TNO or Center in Eindhoven, in the Netherlands. I have the opportunity and the privilege to speak about the Smartees project.
Korn, excuse me, I think there's something wrong with the voice. Could you do something for the mic?
All right, is this better?
Yes, it's better now.
Okay, excuse me for that. So, let me start again. My name is Conor Handvold. I work in TNO at the Hop Center. We work there on printed electronics. The Hop Center is located in Eindhoven, and we are part of the Smartees project. I have the opportunity and the privilege to speak for you about the project and what we have done and what we are trying to achieve. So first, let me start with some objectives. Objectives of Smartees are actually to make flexible and wearable electronics accessible for SMEs. It's a very broad objective, of course, but what we were trying to do is to evaluate possible. And this can be the technical assessment that an SME provides a use case, and that we can create the use case into the demo and make some samples out of it.
Excuse me again, Korn, there's something very wrong with the voice. So do you have a separate mic or?
No, I haven't.
Now it sounds very good.
This better?
This is better, yes.
I did not do anything, but okay. Very good. Please interrupt me again, you guys. If there's anything going on. Of course, we tried it yesterday and the day before, but apparently this changes all the time. So again, the objective of Smartees is to make flexible and wearable electronics accessible for SMEs. Evaluate the possibilities of printed electronics and flexible and wearable electronics. And we do that both in a technical assessment for a use case and in a business approach. The idea of the use case is to provide a technical feasible, can it be done? Can we use state-of-the-art technology that is available at the research organizations?
Excuse me again, Korn, I'm sorry for the audience. We cannot hear you very well, so maybe you can be a little bit further away from the mic or something like that.
Further away or better?
Yes, that's better.
Again, I did not do anything. Okay, but all right. I don't know what's happening. Sorry for this. I hope this Did you hear about that we are working on printed electronics? I guess so. So what we're trying to do is to do both a technical assessment on the printed electronics and a business level approach. We use state-of-the-art technology available at research organizations, so assembly, post-processing, and make that into demonstrators and assess if it's feasible to create a technical demonstration. And at the same time, we do a business level approach where we say, okay, the idea that you have is already done, or it's new, it's novel. What can be the business, and do you have other opportunities? From that, we create prototypes, and of course, we create a networking with international organizations and investors. And in the picture, you can see some of these events, and we're able to put some guys on a skateboard for that, so that's quite successful. In wording, and it's actually a bit establishment, and we have an easy access to digital innovation, and we do a high value service to innovative companies. Later on, and we have a pan-European collaboration network for flexible and wearable electronics. A bit of organization. What we are trying to do is we set up competitive service delivery of the SMEs. SMEs use cases will be done with package 4 and 5. For that, we created a marketplace and a one-stop shop. In the marketplace, the research organizations and the companies are able to showcase their possibilities, their technologies, and people can access the website, access the marketplace, and see what is the difference, what everybody can do. So it's a one-stop shop. From that, the ideas are generated and a project proposal. The proposals will be assessed for that competitive selection of the ideas that come in from the innovative companies, and we select that and we will do it right, and then we make the delivery and we create a portfolio of success stories. And the success stories will be starting a community later on. And of course, we do some community building and outreach after that. Still okay, Jukka?
I think we are missing the voice every now and then, and every now and then we are okay. I don't know, are you covering the mic or?
No.
Because now it's good.
Yes, must be very still.
Don't move, just speak.
Yes, sorry about that. Okay. The idea is that we are progressing. So we have started this community building and this printed electronics networking a very long time ago. We started out in 2011, which was actually doing it in the co-editing project, where we have a preparation and the preparation of this case, where we do core vision, standard, initial conversion, and initial plan. After that, we introduced 3 projects, as InScope and Smartees project, which are about pilot lines, making an upscaling and making a better improvement of electronics. Smartees was one of them. And these 3 projects are then combined to the Smartees 2 project, all the this comes together, and we made an expanding of the network operation of the business areas, growing the community and making an establishment for sustainable approach. And later on, this will become a separate entity where we do stabilization and some kind of association about printing electronics. So some highlights from this is the new thing that comes up in the Smartees 2 is actually the pilot line production. It's my favorite topic, to be honest. Whenever prototype, you are able to make a pilot production in higher volumes, assessment towards systems, for example, field trials, consumer trials, and you make it into the step towards manufacturing. And this will cover the TRL level from 5 to 7 to TRL 6 for reliability to big machines making products and larger volume to create the business.
Orne, could you try to do something for the mic? We are losing your voice.
I'm sorry about that, but I'm almost finished anyway, so my 10 minutes are gone, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Yeah, and as I want to show you some highlights that we have created, but you will see more in the next 7 talks. Here we have some examples of all the products that we made. It includes wearable electronics, some of that on the left on the top, and some RFID, wood integration, stretchables, lighting applications, skateboards, all types are there, even towards shoes, building blocks, stretchables, medical devices, and architectural lighting. But we will see it right now after this successful. Lastly, I want to show you the website. The website is about smartees.eu. In this, you can see what you can do and how you can go to this contribution to this group and to this technology. And if you click a bit further, you are able to access the technical marketplace. You see the organization registries for all the organizations that are active in printing electronics, business market place, and the community development. And further events, funding, jobs, reports. All of this I would like to add, not telling you that the next open call for Smartees is the 7th of May coming up. So if you have still an ID, you are able to make an application in this. Thank you for that.
Okay, thank you, Korn. And unfortunately, voice was not very well all the time, but I hope that all the audience, you followed the slides and got the understanding what Smartees is about. And now we will continue the program. Let's hope that the voice quality is bit better. We cannot do anything for that for the first presentation, but our next speaker will be Mr. Timo Liukko from Small Data Garden, and he will tell us about the EO2 Flexi, the EOT device that fits and bends. So please, Timo.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And you see my screen?
Not yet. Yes, now we can see it.
Very good. Yes, so Small Data Garden, now we stand for smart IoT devices. I'm one of the founders of the company. We launched our first product family in Berlin 2018. And to give you some numbers, so the amount of IoT devices delivered to this day is something like 10,000. And we have a team of 15 on the payroll. And if you count also the other people working to us, it's 20 people. And where we started, so they are smart devices, but they look quite traditional. So they are rigid, like a matchbox, a little bit bigger or smaller. And then we came to the idea that what about now thinking to apply our technology to make now our devices now flexible. Here we started, it was, I think this release was June 2018. And I can really state this was a great journey, worth participating. And for SME, I think the most important thing was this was down to earth. It was now practically, and we got now really now help. BTT helped us in the product design, antenna technology, and Amires helped us now to look for the market, establish contacts, look for needs, and it was really now, I think it was intensive, and after starting now, it was September 2018. In June 2019, we were quite proud that we really achieved now results. We really had a credit card type of device. It was flexible. It was small, and it was really now working, and also we had spent a lot of time now to think about now the production, and to start with sheet to sheet, and also for the future, and also from this point of view, so it was now cost efficient. And since we were using now our existing software platform, all the intelligent features were included, and most important, so this is now a long range device. You don't need any local readers. So even on the road, you can continuously follow now the location and temperature and what is happening to the device. And let us test. Can we now show the video? So very good. So there has been now progress, but it has took some time. So I think the lessons learned has been now from a very good prototype. There is a lot of work now to finalize the product. I think the first decision was that we started with a multi-purpose device now for human body measuring logistic and everywhere. So we have been now investigating the market and now firstly now concentrate to logistic. And the second lesson learned is that even you have the product and you can produce it with in our own workshop or with in the PrintoCent network with more or less now manual method. So there's really now a gap now to achieve now industrial level production. So the bottleneck is now to at the same time have a device which is now robust and on the other hand bendable, to finalize now the antenna technology and now because this is a hybrid design, printed components, and we have also other components we need to encapsulate it somewhere. Now put all the pieces together and for this reason, so this is now really a challenge, but together with PrintoCent network, so we have been now proceeding and we are very, very happy now to notice that in the current roadmap of PrintoCent, one of the key words is, I think, this printed hybrid products design and to really now put this idea now to effective manufacturing technologies. We have been piloting in a level of hundreds of devices and there is the market demand, but the bottleneck has been now the production. As long we are doing it now manually, so it's not effective, and for this reason now the focus has been now set up the production and the estimated schedule now to achieve now industrial level production is by the end of this year. So it looks very good. We are still now optimistic. Here you see some use cases. So it's any kind of parcels. So it's asset management and some quick screenshot. Now to follow up the location and it seems that the last one is now related to the picture on the bottom is now for cold chain management. And also it's worth mentioning it's not only now the technical design, you need now to work on how to present now the results, to work on the dashboards, how to have now smart notifications, now to enable the customers really a solution. This also looks good and thanks to the help from the customers, so they have helped us now to finalize also now these reporting facilities. And now looking for the future. So we of course now need resources now to ramp up the production and to make the vision true. I think there is the market need is available. I think you can agree that it's really now important now the key message that with the IoT Flexi, any parcel will never be lost. This is now, I think this is a groundbreaking statement if we have now a solution now to enable this. So there's the market need, the product concept is unique. We have been now patent pending and what is also one lesson learned now in the beginning, we were looking here and there for customers, and now we have a little bit now changed the strategy. So we have existing delivery channels, IoT operators and system integrators, and as soon we get now the production ramp up. So there's a need available, and for this reason, I think this is quite lucrative opportunity for investors. And I think it's now time now. I don't know, is there time to one or two questions? Anyway, there is our contact information. You can contact me also later, and of course through Ilkka and Rudolf at Amires and Jukka at PrintoCent. So whatever you have ideas now for collaboration or questions, so we are glad now to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Timo. Very interesting story about the IoT. So there will be later on the Q&A session at the end of the webinar, and you can also write your question in the Q&A box on the screen, and we can answer online to your questions. So thanks again, and we will continue our program. The next presenter will be Mr. Fabio Maria Montagnino from Adaptive Architecture System, and he will tell us a story about the mesh modular adaptive skin for high efficiency buildings. Please, floor is yours. Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, but let me try to share the screen again, but I don't see the... Can you try to share my screen? Because I don't see the button to share the screen now.
We can see your...
you see the screen. Okay,
yes,
sorry.
we can see it.
Yeah.
Just put into the presentation mode.
Okay, yes. Now it should be okay.
Yes.
So good morning, everybody, and thank you for inviting me. This is the first presentation with the adaptive architecture system, let's say, logo, because we are registering the company in a few days. So this is the result of what we did in Smartees. So we are quite happy because it's time you got to go into an independent business. You see the team which has been behind the project. So we are a mix of architects, makers, and experts in built environment with some experience in innovation management and innovation finance. We started from this challenge. Our cities are going to be heavily retrofitted in order to bring the built-in stock into an energy efficient future. The direction is clear. We have not only to build new buildings with energy efficient design, but we have to retrofit, and this will be a massive market in the next year. Mostly because of the large building stock which has been built especially in the South European and in neighborhood countries without any kind of insulation and with a very poor performance. There is a clear European policy for that, and many countries are adapting to this policy, and we believe huge investments are coming in the next years, going to have about 3% of the building stock refurbished per year. But no integrated solution is available for retrofitting. We have many different, let's say, specific solutions for adapting the transmission of light, for generating electricity, for integrating lighting systems. And wherever they are going to be, let's say, fully deployed, they are very expensive and they are, let's say, designed for high-end buildings. So we went back to the design. We started thinking about a modular system which could include all the functions that are needed for this kind of upgrade of buildings, and we fixed a target cost of 300 euros per square meter for the final client. The system we had in mind should integrate a smart control software, so a loop which would be able to control the full process of reducing the energy consumption of the building in specific climatic conditions. It should be cost effective, so the payback should be in about 3 years. Multifunctional, so integrating shading, ventilation, and other functions, and be fully adaptable. So we should start from the building in that place and design by combining the modules the right skin for that building. The product should be suitable for urban canopies, for residential blocks, and also for large public use buildings. This is the full loop, which is both, let's say, including hardware components, but it's also integrating the software system, so it's fully certified. And this has been considered fully patentable in terms of strategy. So we are in the process of protecting the idea, and we had a very good feedback from the IP booster services in Horizon 2020. Here you see the prototype. So this is the main result of our investment within Smartees. The company, the small enterprise who got the contribution from Smartees' idea, and now, as I told you, we are spin-offing this product together with TNO and Amires. Here you see the integration of lighting, of smart transmittance modules, OPV cells, and a flexible system in order to adapt the skin to the building, and the valves for ventilation with integrated control. We are going to implement the MVP in our premises because we are working with the Cyprus Institute. I'm part of the staff in the Institute together with the other main collaborator of this project. And we have an agreement with the Italian embassy in Nicosia to scale up. The market is a giant market. We calculated that for this kind of product, only in Europe, we have 2.6 million of square meters. And the accessible market just in Cyprus is already enough for scaling up the company. We are in a dialogue with large companies and energy agencies and design firms in order to implement this scale up. This is our journey. We are in the pre-seed phase with the MVP design, and we hope we will reach the seed and then the acceleration phase in the next years. So we are looking for seed investors now. We are within the sustainable development goals, quite, let's say, structured in addressing the priority 9 and 11. And that's all from my side. And of course, I'm available for answering questions in the chat.
Thank you, Fabio, very much. Very interesting story about the mesh. And if you have any questions to Fabio, please, you can write your question to the Q&A module in the web. Our next presenter will be Mr. Mark Castelnau from Fuelium, and he will tell us about the smart cassette. Please, floor is yours, Mark. Yes, we can see your screen.
All right. Can you hear me as well?
Yes.
All right. So this is Mark Castelnau. I'm managing director at Fuelium. And today I will be talking on our experience in this Smartees initiative. So before that, going in detail on this Smartees project, let me spend some minutes presenting our company. So we are a startup company based in Barcelona. We started our activity by the end of 2015 with the idea of developing and commercializing eco-friendly paper-based batteries. But then during all these 5 years, we learned that we had to provide something else. And we provide also these sustainable self-powered solutions using our core technology, which are these kind of batteries you can see in this graph below. So since in the Smartees project, we mainly focus on diagnostics, I will mainly describe the batteries used in this kind of applications, and then specifically the kind of applications in the diagnostic sector. But just to let you know that we used our batteries not only in diagnostics, which was our first targeted market, but also in IoT, like in precision agriculture and environmental monitoring. We are also exploring the smart packaging industry. And we were also approached by companies from the advanced wellness. So we've been integrating our batteries in cosmetic masks and also in wearables. So if we look into the diagnostic sector, we've been using these planar and laminated batteries, which are very characteristic because when compared to other traditional primary batteries, first of all, we use abundant and non-toxic materials. So we are definitely a clean solution compared to standard coin cell batteries. And we have this particular feature that our batteries are activated upon the addition of a liquid. So that means we don't have any electrolyte encapsulated. So that means we don't suffer from self-discharge. So our shelf life, it's much larger than compared to other primary batteries. And the fact that we don't have any electrolyte encapsulated allows us to have a lot of flexibility in design. So we can easily adjust and customize the energy we provide to the solution. So we are not oversizing the batteries. So we are adapting the batteries to a specific application. And this laminated format is very convenient in order to be cost effective and to think on scaling up the production. So we will see later that we are compatible with lateral flow industry manufacturing. So here you can see that our batteries really demands this kind of analytical paper strips, like a pregnancy test. So a pregnancy test basically it's a strip that you dip in a liquid sample. Then this liquid flows by capillarity and produce a chemical or analytical result. So in our case, you introduce or you put a liquid sample that flows by capillarity, and when it reaches the electrodes area, this provides energy for your application. So specifically for the diagnostics sector, we spend a lot of time normalizing the power response of our batteries, which any kind of sample you can imagine. So here, just to show you the main ones, we were able to produce the same energy no matter if we were using urine samples, blood samples, or saliva. And that's basically a segmentation of the market in the IVD market. So urine basically relates to women's health, blood relates to infectious diseases, and saliva to drugs of abuse test. Okay. That's also an important feature that, or a good statement that we are compatible with the lateral flow industry. So we develop or we produce our batteries for diagnostics using the same kind of materials. So we use medical grade membranes and PSAs, the same materials they use to produce the lateral flow. And we adapt the same kind of equipment to produce our batteries. So at the end, we can sell directly the batteries to the client, or they can adapt our technology. And so our business model in that case, it's more through a licensing fee. So at the end, this is how our product looks like. It can be like a card or it can be a roll. And remember that I mentioned that we can easily adapt our batteries to produce a specific energy. So you have to imagine that since there is no electrolyte here, every card or every roll is a battery itself. And then any single piece or any single cat will be a battery itself. So you can imagine that that gives you a lot of flexibility in design. So that's the core technology to produce this smart cassette idea that we've been developing lately. The idea is that in the industry, you have these cassettes that basically it's a plastic, an empty plastic where you place this analytical strip, but basically it's an empty plastic. So imagine that you can introduce our batteries in this plastic and then use these batteries to enable different kind of functions. That's what we did. So we did a lot of prototyping, enabling this place to just show the sequence of an analytical process or to show results. We were also able to power any kind of electronics, including optical sensors, electrochemical sensors. And here you can see an example of a glucometer. We can also power up communication units to transfer the data from those measurements. And also an interesting feature is the heating element. So that's to produce an homogeneous temperature during the assay in case of an immunoassay. But it's also enabling feature for molecular diagnostics. And in this COVID situation, now you understand the importance of having like good molecular tools for analysis. So basically, and that's focusing into the Smartees initiative. What we propose is that, okay, you have this simple and convenient analytical tool, which is this lateral flow device. It's cost effective, it's simple to use, doesn't require any energy, it's portable, so it's really convenient. However, sometimes it lacks of a lot of sensitivity, and we've seen that in the COVID detection, unless you have a vital load very high, you cannot use the antigen test to make the analysis. You need to go for a molecular test. So if you want to get a larger sensitivity, then you need a reader that it's really going for an objective measurement, and that allows you to have more sensitivity in the measurement. So our value proposition here with the smart cassette technology is to fill this gap. So we can use this empty plastic to enable all those features that in the end, it's bringing all the potential of this box here in the right into this box here to the left. So basically, we introduce in a portable system all these key features that make your analytical test more reliable and better. So since we couldn't try all these options in this Smartees initiative, we focus on this temperature heating element. And so the idea is, okay, we've been producing manually different kind of prototypes with spare components. What about the printed technology? Can we use flexible and printed technology or hybridization to produce these prototypes? How it looks like and how will be the mass production of this? And it's what we did. So we spent a year with BTT facing the technology challenges. So we managed to produce flexible heaters and flexible substrate, printed heaters and flexible substrates. We also play with the hybridization of visual components like this Verdeye LED to indicate that the heating component was on and the assay was ongoing. And then we also learn how to integrate our batteries into those flexible substrates. And in the end, we evaluate the scalability and the mass production of those cassettes or those smart cassettes containing all those components. So here you can see how these prototypes look like. So basically, it has the footprint of a regular cassette, but it's not only containing the lateral flow strip, it also contains our batteries, a visual component, and this heating element. So at the end here, it's a very simple solution just to stabilize the temperature of the assay to physiological conditions. This is 37. But we've been also playing with higher temperatures to enable molecular diagnostics. So the idea is going for that, to portable devices that has these extra features for a better diagnostics. So at the end, just to summarize our experience with the Smartees initiative, I think it has been nice not only to face the technology challenges with BTT, so thanks to Ilkka Kaisto, to have all these technical discussions and all these iterations in the technology developments, but also I want to thank Amides and especially Rudolf Frisek, that he will be doing a talk at the end of this session, because I think one of the good things of the Smartees initiative is that you combine both this business case evaluation, and in this case we not only focus on diagnostics, but we also were validating our business case in the different sectors. So we spent some months discussing the business model and the business cases, also in smart packaging, in precision agriculture, and also in the advanced wellness. So we were very happy with this initiative. I think we advanced a lot in the product design and product development. And I'd encourage any company or any startup in the audience to apply into this Smartees 2 initiative. Maybe we will be also applying as well to scale up this product and to face the industrialization of these products. So we'll be finishing here. Thank you very much for the invitation, and we'll be more than happy to answer any question if there is any. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Very interesting story about the batteries and the smart cassette, and very nice to hear your feedback about the Smartees funding system. So next speaker will be Mr. Eero Kaikkonen from MoveSoul, and floor is yours, Eero.
Okay, can you hear and see my slides?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so for some reason they're not in a presentation. Now they are. Okay, so good morning on my behalf. My name is Eero Kaikkonen. I'm from the company called MoveSoul, and I've been speaking this webinars a couple of times earlier about why we're using. First of all, why we're using like a printed electronics, and also how many partners we needed for developing it. And today my focus is more about telling, while developing this kind of product, the need of the research partners, and one of them, a very important one, being Smartees. So what we started to do like 4 or 6 years ago, in fact, was to start developing a insoles measuring the forces under the feet. And the reason for that is that there's only so much you can see with your eye when you're seeing the walking, even if you're a professional like a physiotherapist. So they needed objective data about how we are walking. And that was the starting point for us. And then there was quite a lot of learning during the last 6 years. Like we started with thinking that this is tool for rehabilitation. Very soon we learned when talking with the professionals that we need more tool also for preventing the things to happen. So reacting before there is some incidents. So prevention is more important, in fact, in our many cases than the rehabilitation. We also thought in the beginning that we are focusing on the lower limb injuries and maybe in the malfunctions, but while talking with the customers and partners, we learned that there's so many other cases where you can measure how you are walking. The gait analysis used in the diabetic feet ulcers, in sports, coaching, and testing the condition of the elderly people. So what we started to do is, and what was the state of the art when we started like 4 years ago, the gait analysis has been there for tens of the years, but mainly it has been done in the clinics and in hospitals. And just 2 reasons why it's not good. They are very expensive. There are not too many of them. And then you need to go to inside of the room, like you see in the pictures, and then walk like 5 meters, which is not like a natural way of walking. So we took those tools, integrated them into insoles, and the goal for us was really to build a mobile system, which is like a laboratory level measurements taken into place where the people are, and that's what we have been doing for 6 years. And here you can see there is an end result. So we have two different versions of the product. So we are selling it to the professionals. It's like a suitcase with the 6 different sizes of the insoles and the device using. We have two versions of it. One is targeted for the physiotherapists and orthopedists, and the other one is for the researcher. They have a little different needs. And here's a little bit about the roadmap. So it took us 6 years to get where we are today, and in fact 7 now almost. And I'm a little bit walking you through the external help we get from the research for getting there, and that's why I focus on my last slide here. So when we started to work, one of the first things we did, we spoke with the local university hospital here in Oulu, and they told us that you should talk with the Tampere University Hospital. And that was more or less the first place before we started any development of the technology to speak with the professionals. And we were really lucky to find from a few individuals there who were really interested in to be part of developing this kind of product. And that was the first learning now, and seeing those 6 years, that before doing anything, especially if you go to the well-being or healthcare, is to speak with the professionals, how they do their work today. And learning not to try to change too much the way they work, because they wouldn't accept it, but rather try to help their work with the way they do and make it better with the small changes. And so we, I spent sometimes even seeing how they treat their patients today, and then we're asking questions, how could we help it as easy as possible? And you need like institutional partners, but like I said, to finding the people who are really personally interested in is really a key, because then they are ready to spend time. And in our case, we were really happy to do that for the first 3 years. But furthermore, it's also because then we have a close relation with this university, so they started to use with their patients, and we get even more and more in-depth understanding of how to do, what to do. And we also learned, like I said, we started from the lower limb injuries, but they were the ones who introduced us to use in diabetes. So it kind of widened our understanding of the markets as well. Of course, in the same time, we spoke with maybe 200-300 other physiotherapists. So that is the key, to speak with the customers to understanding what we're doing. But going further, so once we got the first product ready by maybe 2018, the other really good thing happened to us, which was that there was an EU program called SENDOC, which was like 4 countries, Finland, Sweden, Ireland, and UK. And on that one, they were looking for a wearable sensors to be used amongst the elderly people, and we were the lucky ones to be chosen the one. And by 2018, they just asked a question from us that would you like your tool to be validated? And we said yes, without really understanding how important it was for us. And now, in fact, I just heard, in fact, today that their validation and the publication of this validation program has been accepted today and will be published and will be soon in our website. And why it's very important. So when we say that we have a tool that can be used as in the clinical work, or can be used as the laboratory level tool, it's only that much credible if we say it. But once somebody external or has independently, autonomically done the same testing and tells that this tool is working, it's a difference making sales or not making a sale. So for us, that has been really a key element. And what we've been learning and understanding, and finding somebody who's enough interested, or there's a research program suitable to make the validation, is one of the key things to happen. Now, going forward, then of course we need to develop something new, and we were really, thanks to quite close cooperation with the VTT and PrintoCent, we were introduced about this concept on the Smartees, and we're really happy to be chosen even in, I think it was the first Smartees program, which started then 2 years ago. And from our point of being a small company, be able to funding a new features to R&D development is very costly, and we really were happy to get the funding, and also get the cooperation with TNO in the case of developing new product. And the outcome of that Smartees program is basically done. We are now launching a new version of StepLab 2.0, including the motion sensor inside of it. So now we're going forward with the new program, but just pointing out that it's really important not only to work with the development partners, but also with the research program when developing product like this. And just finally telling that, yeah, we are getting to the point that we do have some sales. We're starting to get customers also from the private sectors, which makes us very happy. And ending my presentation by saying that if you find this interesting and you're interested to talk more, I'm more than happy to tell. We're looking for funding, and we're also looking for a new distributors. We have some distributors already in Europe, but we are looking for more. So if you get any thoughts, just send me an email or press, and I'm more than happy to answer the questions in the end. Okay, thank you on my side.
Thank you, Eero. Very interesting story about the smart insoles and where you can use those. And if you have questions for Eero, please write to Q&A section, and we will answer those later on in the end of the webinar. So our next presenter will be Ms. Maria Bulgheroni from AP Acus, and she will tell us about the home rehabilitation, the journey from lab to real life. Floor is yours, Maria.
Ever you see my screen?
Yes.
So I will switch to presentation mode. Okay, my name is Maria Bulgheroni, and I am the responsible of research and development in Abacus. Today, I will introduce you RehabMe, that is our product for home rehabilitation, that is based on the result of the Smartees project, Flex. So, what's the frame in which we move? The main patient interested in home rehabilitation with a product like RehabMe are stroke patients. Stroke is becoming one of the major events causing disability and impairment, and in most of these cases, the impairment refers to the upper limb. Impairment of the upper limb means not to be able to perform simple everyday life action. Also, it's quite difficult once they are out of the hospital for patients to be committed to rehabilitation. There are a lot of people abandoning rehabilitation, and this causes a high readmission rate in the hospital. So there is a clear need to develop tools that may allow an effective home rehabilitation, also raising the commitment of the patient. So in a huge market, as it's one of neuro rehabilitation, stroke patients are our end users, and we will go to target for the distribution and the sharing of the product, the neurorehabilitation department and occupational therapist, that are the person in charge of rehabilitation. Why? Because if you look at the upper limb, what you need to do is to make people able to do again their functions, to be again autonomous. This does not mean the same of physical and orthopedic rehabilitation, but means to approach what is called occupational therapy, because it is a way to teach again people to do what they need in their daily life. And with the concept of RehabMe, we are trying and we are moving this concept at home. That especially in period like the hard one we are living is very important. And I will show you here how the system works. Anyway, the system that you see here in action allow use for rehabilitation the environment where the people live and the object of the personal life. This is quite important from the point of view of commitment, and also from the point of view of efficiency of the rehabilitation, because you may change object, big one or small one, according to what you need to rehabilitate. So the system is easily to install at home, allow to personalize exercise using the object of real life. It's important to say that the concept was already patented before the Smartees project at Italian and European level. So this is a story, because we are a company working on research and development, and we started to develop the concept in a 2 European project with a big consortium where our system, our idea was used as in a more complex system. Before for assistive technology and then for stroke therapy. At the end of this project, we realized that the concept and the product was able also to be standalone as a driving tool for rehabilitation. And there we start with Smartees that we end in September last year. Why Smartees was important for us? From the technical point of view, you may see here, our initial prototype was quite bulky, was done at home, in our lab, with research tools. And then we were able, with the help of Smartees, to move it to flexible electronics and to do it really wearable. In the same time, all support of Smartees, we were able also to better know the market and to start to identify our future and to have element in our hand to contact the potential investor. Smartees in last December, and after that we had the possibility to start clinical validation with this prototype that before was almost impossible. And we have already worked with 14 patients. We have performed more than 60 rehabilitation sections for a total of almost 6,000 of exercise and more than 12 hours of exercise with the Smartees prototype. So the prototype are perfectly doing what we need to do, is to have a prototype able to support the clinical validation. The return from the patient is quite good in terms of usability and also in terms of outcome of the rehabilitation. So what we need now, we need to cover the file, and we need to further enhance the user experience. And here we are really happy because it's a very recent news to work with Smartees again, this time to work on a carpet to be used as a driving lighting guide for exercise. We are working for engineering, moving to the market and to the medical device certification with the support of in the Italian Ministry of Economics. And we are in the middle, or we have just started clinical validation. So what we need in the future is a complete clinical validation, to complete the medical device certification that is becoming quite a new regulation, and to set up a commercial partnership. Indeed, we are looking for investment because our idea is to set up a spin-off to go on with the commercialization of this product. So I think it's all from my side. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Maria. Very interesting story about the home rehabilitation system developed further by the Smartees project. We will go forward with our program. The next speaker will be Ioannis Kostopoulos from OptionsNet, and the presentation will cover the integration of flexible and electronic technologies for delivering the next generation Marina services. So, Ioannis, please.
Thank you very much, Yuka. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Can you see my screen also?
Yes.
So let me enlarge the screen. Okay. Perfect. So thank you very much for the intro. I hope now it is in full screen mode. As mentioned by Yuka, my name is Ioannis Kostopoulos, and I was the project management of Fetching project that has to do with integration and exploitation of different types of flexible electronic technologies for the delivery of next generation of marina services. So of how we can use a specific type of flexible electronics in order to modernize the marinas and provide added value services. We were partners in fetching project with my company, OptionsNet, where I'm a business partner. And we have the support of the Smartees program from the CPI, which was the technical supervisor and the provider of the technical services to our project, and EBN for the business development. So regarding the existing market conditions in marinas, we have, by studying the surveys and data, we have seen that more than 85% of the marinas today have outdated and cumbersome booking management systems. And also there is a lack of real-time data collection and communication between the marinas and the yachting communities. At the same time, when sea travelers arrive to a marina, the environment is unfriendly. There is a limited range of added value services that are offered that finally result to poor hosting services for the sea travelers. The last but not least is the population that today travels with the yachts, and this population is more, let's say, demanding and more using the digital services and technology, and they have shifted, let's say, from regular transportation from one point to the other to a unique travel experience. So for that reason, we have already delivered a smart platform that you can see here. Actually, we provide holistic services by visualizing the daily processes inside the marina, the berth spots, and also the traffic conditions inside the marina by marina management system and also mobile services, in a concept of digital twinning. So for these services, we exploit, as I mentioned before, cloud-based services, but also IoT services, in order to monitor the water quality, the berth space occupancy, the traffic congestion, and also the weather inside the marina. And finally, we visualize the critical ports in marinas areas. We have the real-time communication between the marina and the yachting communities. We provide added value service when they arrive in the marina, and also real-time notification. And recently, due to the COVID-19, we are responsive through remote management services, process automation, digitalization, and paperless transactions that we provide to the sea travelers. So it is a clear fact that there is a need in the marinas for modern technological tools and systems that will turn them into smart. So for a traditional organizations that they manage the services, they want to become smart, similarly to the smart cities, and also to extend to the mooring areas this smartness in order to serve the growing demand of the yachters by using floating docks and moorings. So we exploited the Smartees program, and we participated in the first of the call with this project named Fetching, that actually aims to evaluate, integrate, and testing in real environment selected flexible electronic technologies, as you can see in the image on the right. And actually to demonstrate the distinct advantages that they can bring to the targeted customers, both to marinas and tourist harbors, and also to the sea travelers. So we selected three types of, let's say, three groups of flexible electronic technologies, like flexible photovoltaics that they can help to the open mooring areas and the autonomous berth spots, novel lighting, and OLED displays that we work in all these three technologies in theoretical and also in practical level. So going now down to the experiment, we developed special use smart lighting technologies along with the CPI, who was, as I mentioned before, our technical partner. We developed special light stripes and also matrices that are installed or can be installed in the port and harbor areas in order to provide a simple and high visibility lighting for indicating the berth availability. So the big request here is, of course, to be water resistant and very robust for the maritime environment, but at the same time to be visible in the daylight and also in the night. These were the main, let's say, restrictions that we had. Of course, these elements should be flexible in order to be able to subtract and encapsulate them in the maritime environment, in the docking space, or around the pillars, as you can see here, and also programmable. So we developed different types of coloring, brightness, and animations in order to provide specific digital signals for the yachting communities. So the final display should be simple and highly visible for berth marking and signals, as I mentioned before, and fully flexible in order to be able to encapsulate it in port and marinas areas. At the same time, except the hardware, we exploit the fact that we have areas with installed IoT sensors. So we complement these installations with these smart, let's say, signaling devices, that it was LED stripes and LED matrices. And we combine the information that we got from the IoT devices for providing the signaling in terms of the berth occupancy, or berth availability, or the conditions in specific environmental factors inside the marina, like the noise level that we measure in selected marinas. So we exploit our existing cloud services, and we integrate it with the LED stripes and LED matrices in the selected marina. Our technical partner delivered to us, except the matrices and the stripes, the special design gateway that actually interconnects our cloud system with LED stripes and the matrices, and provide the specific information that we want to show there, and the nodes that they receive commands from the gateway via the LoRaWAN protocol, that it was the selected protocol that we used, and we control the local hardware based on the command data that we had, and issues reported finally to the gateway via the same protocol. Finally, we demonstrate these new elements in a selected marina here in Greece, in the Patras Mega Yacht Docking area, where we demonstrated the viability of the system, which included flexible display panels and lighting, as I mentioned before, and also the wireless communication, so the interconnection between these elements with the gateway, and finally with the cloud connectivity. And we delivered and finalized the first demonstration at September 2020. And now we are at the, let's say, exploitation phase. And this is my last slide about the business potential that we have. So we are looking forward to exploit this new, let's say, extension and sub-products in an industry that, in general, the recreation boating industry creates a market of 280 billion euros, and the specific marinas market is estimated around 45 billion euros, and it is a quite growing market with an annual growth of 7%. So the benefit that we can provide is to increase the value of the products and services that we already provide to this market by extending the product range with the new flexible electronic technologies, and of course to differentiate ourselves in comparison to our competitors and disrupt a growing niche market with a highly innovative product. So thank you very much. Of course, if there is any question, I'm here to speak more about our system and our experiment in the marinas area. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ioannis. Very nice story about the project called Fetching and the Next Generation Marina Services. We will go forward. Time is running, and our next speaker is Mr. Jaroslav Sohor from ESUST, and he is telling us about the modern smart lighting with O-Light. So, please, Jaroslav.
Oh, hello. So I will share the screen.
Yes, please. Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, great. So I go to the top and we can start. So
Yes.
I will have my presentation about our project Olight, what we create last year. I am from company Assist. I am CEO of company Assist. We are from Czech Republic and we are working in field of human-centric lighting. Our company was established in the year 2009 and we have 20 employees and we are selling lights and doing R&D and some production. Our values, company values are healthy, innovation, approach, and of course light. This project Olight was supported with a company Fraunhofer, which was there as service delivery manager. They create OLED modules for us, and Amires was business partner. They made for us some market research and such things. Everything was made under our human-centric lighting. Sometimes what we develop maybe 3 years before, and everything it's working on this IoT solution sometimes. Olight was intention was join two technologies, OLED technology and LED technology, and both of to enable white solution. In LED to enable white solution, it's maybe a very known thing. I think everybody know these lights which are changing color temperature from 2000 kelvins, which is warm white, to 6000 kelvins, which is cool white. Everybody saw it, I think, in this time. By OLED, organic LED, it's not so common. And I think with Fraunhofer, we create first to enable white OLED device in the world. Yeah, so I think this is the advantage of project. OLED provides a wavelength that stimulates creation of melatonin hormone, which is good for sleeping and relaxation. And LEDs, which is the second segment, are good in blue light, which stimulate creation of serotonin and cortisol hormone for better focus and more energy. Yeah, so, and everything it's under Sentence control system. You will see next slides. Project evolution, first contact. We have some first contact with Smartees through South Moravian Innovation Incubator Center, and the call was application form was in April 2020. It was it was 2019. It was 5 pages, which in Czech Republic we have always maybe something between 50 pages or 500 pages if you will get some project. So 5 pages, it was very easy to write. Yeah, so, and selection was still the selection was 2 months only, so it was very positive. Normally we wait maybe 1 year. And if you have very innovative solutions, 1 year, you know, it's breaking time. Yeah? In 1 year, competitors can have ready some product, and I think this 2 months in Smartees, it's very, very fast. Yeah, we start in September 2020, and there was 9 months to finish the project, but there was this COVID situation, so there was some delay, and maybe it takes around 14 months whole project. And now we are working on next mission. We bring these products to production, and we have not tunable white OLED devices, but we make some hybrid between LEDs, which is tunable white, and OLED, because there is actually there is no company which can do OLED to enable white devices for mass production. This is only one thing that we are waiting, that we will maybe in future find some production company which is possible to enable white OLED devices. So positive things was access to really innovative and attractive technologies. There was some summits, and there was introduced maybe in Rome or in Barcelona, what we are invited, and there was we have joined too many OLED or also some transparent OLED devices and everything. So it was very, very good. Company promotion across EU. Also, this promotion, like we have today, and other promotions, was very successful for our company. And there is also joining with other supporting programs like Blumofo and OEA consortium. There was short application, fast processing, as I write, and possibility make particle change in the project results. Yeah, because we have some solution in start, and there was this evolution of this product. And maybe twice or three times we need to make a change of result, not the whole result, but only particularly. And there was very, very fast that we just save it from offer. It's okay. There was not writing 20 pages that we need a little bit another result, and everything was very fast. Yeah. There was low level of administration. Also, this final report was very easy to write, and only main thing was asking in the end. Yeah. So, and cooperation with business partner, they create for us competitors analysis of market and other products researchment, and they help with finding some commercial companies which are producing OLED, and also they make some price research in the market for us that the solution is good and sustainable. So we enjoy. This is how we will have final product what we will sell, and we are working on it now. Encapsulation and electronic we already have. Yeah, so I hope within till summer we will have in market, yeah, this product. So something about sentences to enable white IoT lighting systems, what we developed here with full spectrum of emitted light, automatic correction of chromaticity and light intensity. We developed some special sensor in other projects which can control chromaticity of lights, which is unique. Text to superior future sentence is representative of lighting called human-centric lighting for everybody who will know more about the systems. We control intensity and chromacity of light through day, and thanks to this changing blue light and red light in whole spectrum, we control this creation of hormones which influence our behavior and so on. Yeah, so I have here some video, but it takes 4 minutes. Maybe if we have time in Finnish, we can play it, and this is all. If you have some questions, you will write in questions, and in Finnish it will be answered. So thank you for your interest, and it's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jaroslav. Very interesting presentation, and it was very nice to hear the positive things you just presented, how easy it was to deal with Smartees funding. So we all heard about the very easy application system and very easy, let's say, work during the funding, and that was really nice to hear. So thank you. Our next speaker will be Mr. Rudolf Rusek from Amires. Rudolf will tell us about the Smartees Market Place, how to link ideas and solutions. And after Rudolf speaks, Mr. Kohn Rentrup will make a short summary of his presentation because there was some problem in the voice during his presentation. So short presentation by Kohn after the Rudolf presentation, and then we go to the Q&A session. So Rudolf, please.
Thank you very much, Jukka. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So you have heard about our mission, and you will hear that again from Kohn at the end. Our mission is to accelerate the uptake of flexible wearable electronics into new applications, to accelerate the market uptake. And you have here this beautiful success cases, the cases we've supported within Smartees, and you will also hear about overall the general services. And there's yet another result coming from this project, and this is a digital tool. If you want, it's a digital marketplace where everybody is practically free to search for new items. Everybody is free to get registered and to post the items, and I will tell you what kind of items we are thinking of. And everybody is free to post also news and information for the community. How you get to this digital tool is that you have the Smartees EU website, and here we have the tab which is an ecosystem. And after a short booting, you get into this environment where we have right now the organization marketplace. So practically everybody is free to search for companies, which, for example, if you are interested to hear more about what CPI is doing, so you can get into their profile, you will get the description of the organization, you get also the direct contacts there. So this right now is including more than 125 organizations. You can search there, but where is the biggest added value is our technical marketplace. So this is the place where we are listing products, prototypes, and technology services which are serving to the community. So there's a lot of searching criteria here on the left side. You can see that. But the easiest is simply to use the full text. So for example, if one is looking for OLEDs and you'll be looking for what kind of prototypes there are, so you can see that there is a list of those. And again, if you click on it, you get some information, you get the contacts, and you get also some of the specifications, which may be very useful. For example, if you're looking for new technology, which may differentiate your market, your product. The same is if you go to technical services, then you get also the contacts and the description to partners, which may help you with certain technological steps. Of course, then you can filter out also based on other criteria, for example, applications and so on and so forth. We have a very similar marketplace also for business and non-technical supports. So this you can see here. And last but not least in this, we have a community where, as I was saying, everybody is free to post an information, for example, about new events or job position you are promoting. There are also some additional information for skills and trainings, and of course some of the videos, for example, from the success cases which were just presented. With this, I would like to remind you that the Smartees program is still open. We are going to have 2 additional cutoffs where we are going to support the experimentations and the support for upscaling. All the information can be found on the Smartees website. Please have a look into the open call information. Don't hesitate to get in touch with us. We have a help desk operating, and we are very much looking forward to discuss with you and to support with you. So this is kind of a appetizer for the Kornes presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rudolf. I hope we all get the understanding which kind of information there is available at the Smartees webpage. So as you recognize, there's a lot of information about the technologies, about the companies, the technology providers. So please become familiar with the website smartees.eu, and you can find every kind of information regarding the printed and flexible and wearable electronics. So we had some problems with the voice during the first speaker, Mr. Conor Rentrop. He was presenting us about the Smartees program, and if we can get Conor short summary, at least by asking the question which we have already in the Q&A section. So there was a question about what kind of application you are looking for in the Smartees 2 program.
Yes. Thank you, Jukka, and thank you all for being this patient with me. I hope this now better works than last time. I simply changed my location. I don't know what happened. Yeah. So I came to another room. What am I looking for in the Smartees 2? So Smartees 2 is a bit different than Smartees 1 in that perspective that we have two types of offers that we can give. The first offer is actually doing the demonstrator, like we've seen in the 7 use cases that are very interesting, of course. But the second step is then the logical follow-up to this, which is basically the upscaling and being ready for additional tests on industry level. Many of the RTOs that are present in the Smartees project are able to produce larger quantities at a good quality. So the VTT has roll-to-roll, we have roll-to-roll, there is roll-to-roll assembly. So additional samples can come in, and what you want to do with that samples is actually make things like field trials, make consumer tests, electrical tests. So additional to the offer of the demonstrator, there's also the upscaling offer, and that is very interesting. The second thing is that we can also outsource it to commercially producing companies of printed electronics, and they will be able to make it really to the market and sell it on the level that you would like to have. And both offers are present in the Smartees project. Does this answer the question?
Yes, thank you, Cole. I think that's now very clear that there is a two kind of project which we are funding, and maybe to add so that during the Smartees 1 program we funded 20 applications, and now there is more than double applications will be funded. Altogether 47 applications will be funded, and we are in the halfway of the project, so there is still money available for, let's say, roughly 20 applications, and the next cutoff will be in May.
Indeed, yes.
And the fifth, that will be the fourth cutoff, and the fifth cutoff will be the autumn time this year, if I remember right. But as you can see, Mr. Rudolf Rusek write you in the chat box that all the web pages where you can find more information and detailed dates where you can apply the money. Okay, now we are moving to the end of the webinar, the Q&A session. We already answered to one question by Con, and there is some others. There is a too small data garden. There is a question: what is the battery lifetime? Is the product sustainable, or can you recharge it or change the battery? So if Timo can answer to this question. Timo, you are mute, so maybe you can use your microphone so it's easier to hear.
So that was a good tip with the microphone. So it's thousands of messages in our tests. We have reached up to 10,000 messages, and since this is now logistic tracking, so sending a message every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes, so it's long. It's really a long life battery, and now rather for practical reasons to keep this concept now simple, so it's not rechargeable, but on the other hand, so since we have up to 10,000 messages, there is no real need now to recharge the battery. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Timo. It was a very clear answer. So then we have a question to Mark. Which material is used for heater and what is power density you can achieve?
Yeah, I think probably BTT has a better answer to that, but I know those are commercial inks from Henkel, and basically they are carbon-based inks. So that's what we use for the printed heater. And I think the power density refers to the power density of the batteries, or which kind of energy we need to power up those heaters. And for that, we are using 3 volts. So it's in a stack of 2 batteries. And it's with a battery of about 2 square centimeters, we are able to produce about hundreds of milliwatts. So for this kind of application, if it's in the low range, just to get 40 degrees, we can manage with less than 200 milliwatts. But then for the molecular applications, we need to heat up around 65 degrees Celsius. So for that, we need something closer to 350 milliwatts. So those are about 2 batteries of 2 square centimeters.
Okay, and then there's another question also for Mark. It's about your cosmetic face mask application. So Mrs. Mario Mahena is looking for more details on the purpose in this market. So can you shortly answer to this?
I cannot disclose too much because we signed a contract by the end of last year, and the only thing I can disclose is that this new product will be released this year. So there have been already some initial sales of that mask, but what I can disclose, it's not like something super new. So probably most of you already know about those iontophoretic masks. So I think some of our competitors already been in the market with this kind of approaches, but this one, it's not like a patch, it's a full mask. And this will be released this year. And regarding some of the questions or the technical questions, how we interface, if it's a non-woven or not, I cannot disclose too much about it. That's very specific.
Yes, and you can maybe continue privately this discussion as you like. So I think those are all the questions. So thank you very much for our webinar series. It's been very nice to keep these 7 sessions. Altogether, we have had more than 700 people in the audience following the live webinars. It's very nice. Those 700 people comes from 34 different countries. So there's a very nice coverage also in country-wise and area-wise, which kind of audience we have reached in our webinars. So I like to thank all the presenters and all the speakers, all the participants to our webinar series. And we will inform you more about the possible coming webinars later on this spring. And as introduced, there will be the Prince 22 seminar. Let's hope face-to-face in Oulu region in the middle of dark and snowy winter in next January. So thank you all and keep safe and keep health. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.